Rico
podcast.
Breaking friends.
So you just want to focus on Nazis.
Don't even
you want to?
Oh, we can't talk about
No.
it.
Okay.
Dang.
I didn't want to talk about. I didn't want to talk about it either.
Don't start bringing up Kanye West into this conversation for the love of
He's
God.
a lyrical genius. Graduation. He has a pass, bro.
He's the guest. He can say that. And I train with him, so I can answer those questions.
Yeah.
Please don't fucking start bringing up like
I'll get started.
I trained
later.
with him. Like he's gonna tell everybody like Richard said Kanye was right, and then he said the N word. Like,
Does he?
oh,
Does he like get you in full guard and says, "You know what happened in 1832 on this day"?
you should start doing that every time you're rolling in a position. Be like, in 1898, the Spanish Civil War began because
Funny enough, I did do that for a time. When
you
I
would just put people in submissions and give it's like,
Yep.
like why?
I don't know. I'm weird. It's the autism.
I think that would be cool. They would wake up and go like, oh, "Why do I want to Google
don't
Spanish
put
War?" I mean,
What do you think we do at our gym? You think we're just like strangling each other unconscious, like shit like that? Like no,
I went there and I seen it.
no. That's because you came to noon training one time. That's
Ooh,
different.
You saw the.
But see,
harder
I went
stuff,
there and
you
he got in Richard got in a real choke standing up,
Mm.
and he tapped and he was pissed. And then he did it again. And then Richard was really pissed.
Many years ago.
It was many years ago.
Gotcha.
But I was just like,
I remember.
okay, don't screw with that guy. I might be able to take Richard, but that guy can take Richard, okay?
So who subbed you?
Huh?
Who got you?
Fuck if I remember. I get
Oh,
subbed
okay.
all the time. It was 1997. Matt Williams was there with a fucking rear naked choke and a footlock. I don't
See,
know.
but Matt would remember. He'd know like the type of day it was, like it was sunny or whatever.
Matt would be like, I was wearing a black gi that day.
Mhm. That's right.
Oh, Matt.
No, it was just weird. He's like, we don't try and kill each other. It's like, no, I've watched. You do.
That's funny.
You do. It's just one of you give up before you die. That's all.
Well, it's a very humbling thing to see. Like oh no, like you really don't know how to fight. Like I don't know how to fight.
Yeah.
Like fuck no. Compared to the bigger part of the world, like I know nothing. Like nothing. Not a
Well,
fucking
I know if I walk in there, I would be just a rag doll.
thing. See, but
So you want to come here and
Yeah.
get beat up?
yeah,
Yes,
but
that's what I
everybody.
come here for,
But
to
that's
get beat
everybody.
up.
I'm here for a little bit of punishment.
Yeah,
man.
just
That's jujitsu. You just described jujitsu. You're gonna come
Yeah.
back every day for years and years and get beat up, and then one day you're gonna beat up some people, but then you're gonna get beat up again and again, and then one day you're gonna beat up people, and then you're just gonna get beat up, getting it again.
it's just I'm
Yeah.
afraid one day I'd be too depressed and it's like I just won't tap. I'd be like,
Just send me home to
just
Jesus.
do it.
You know,
Just do
There have
it.
been-
Just do it.
There have been days like that. Even at Spencer,
Mm.
Spencer's put me to sleep 3 times. Spencer Jones,
Mhm.
shout out to Spencer. He does painting in the
Love you,
area,
Spencer.
and he just had a kiddo too.
Oh,
I don't
all
wanna
right,
throw
all
his
right.
kid's name though. But yeah, Spencer's put me to sleep like 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought he was fine. He was like passing my guard. And then I was like, I'm gonna fucking hold the choke. He's like, he's not moving. Like, oh fuck, he's out. And I'm like, okay, let's go. I
And
didn't,
then-
I didn't pee myself. Okay.
The only person.
And then you just start thinking, why am I thinking about the Spanish War?
Where's Tyran when I fucking need him?
Oh, guess what, buddy? I'm coming.
How long have you been with us at the gym?
Oh, let's see. 4 years and a few months.
When'd
So,
you start? I never
August
asked you this.
21 of 21.
Oh, you started at the gym?
Mhm.
What made you want to start? I never asked you this.
So to talk about that, we have to go back a little.
We have
Uh,
Well, wait a minute. Why
So
don't,
how
why
was your
don't, why don't,
childhood?
hey, Richard, why don't you introduce your guest first?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say his last name because I know I'm gonna butcher it,
Oh,
but I
I'm-
call him Tyran or Tyrone. Because
Tyrone.
when I say Tyrone, I want everybody to visualize like a bit black guy, and then they see Tyron.
see, when I worked at McDonald's, that was one of my nicknames was Tyrone. And I worked with, I don't know, the staff was maybe a third African
So how do
American.
you say your last name? Vestal?
Tyrone Vestal is
Tyrone
the full
Vestal.
name.
Yeah.
Vestal.
Yeah, see, I said,
Okay.
it, I said it in Spanish. Vestal.
Vestal.
Or Vestal.
Okay.
Yeah, Vestal. Vestal. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it is an Italian name, so I mean,
Is it an Italian name?
Mhm. So Vestal comes from, well, the family name comes from the Roman goddess Vesta, if I remember correctly, or the Vesta Virgins. Vesta was the god of hearth, home, and fertility.
Yeah.
In some cases, and that's where my name comes
Just
from.
mythology. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, there we are.
History, origin, tradition, worship, facility, Lavinium. The mother city of Alba, Long Island, the first settlement of the Trojan refugees after their fight from the Troy destruction.
Mhm.
After the biggest historical gotcha.
I mean,
Switcheroo.
yeah.
Well,
That's
if I
it
remember
happened.
right, they
I
used
think
to.
it did.
Ooh, what do you mean if it happened?
So there,
I'm just listening.
I
The
think
views expressed here do not express the Rico.
yeah. So there is discourse among historians for whatever reason, whether or not the Battle of Troy was, well, for one, as fantastical as it's put in the stories, but for two, whether it happened or not. Why?
Is it because it's is it the Homer's Iliad? Is that
Yeah, the Iliad.
Iliad,
Does
yeah.
kind of put things into question because it has a lot of mythological creatures in it, so that kind of was like, oh well, this may be the perspective of someone who just tried to put what they went through in some sort of fantastic tale.
Well, I was
Which is
just
what
it's
they
like
do. Which historically, that's what they did. Whenever they couldn't describe
Mhm.
or had a name for something, they would give these not euphemisms, but like comparisons.
Mhm.
Like it was as green as the tail of a feathered fucking Quetzal gay dragon, and people are like, oh my god, there was a Quetzal feathered gay dragon. Like, no,
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl, yeah. Oh! Anyways,
well, I was just they do that now because when we see based on a true story, it doesn't say it's a true story. It says based
yeah.
on a true story.
And
So you
then-
watch the movie, it's like he really did that, and then you find the guy and be like, well, that didn't actually happen. I thought it was based on a true story. Yeah, it is based on a true story, but
Yep.
that didn't
They do
actually
that.
happen.
Movies
So-
do that.
So
all
I think
over.
history probably did that long before the movies came
Yeah.
about.
Like even you lose.
So they took a little artistic liberties whenever they wrote a story.
Let's let the historian talk. Hold on.
So
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
But that is a good thing to bring up. That comes into question of do we trust our primary sources that we've been reading from for what 2,000 plus years in terms of like the history of the West. I would say there is a hint of liberty in terms of like, is this 100% factual? Is it not? When it comes to the basic historical facts, some of it may be muffed, like a very small percentage of it.
Why though? Like why do they do that?
I mean, I have to agree with you in that it was probably, in some cases, it was probably a way to cope with whatever they couldn't explain.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was probably some sort of political, sociological issue with whatever was going on.
Linguistics maybe too, because different languages
Yep.
get taken over. Like
Yep.
that's a very common thing that happens.
Well, Troy actually did have the biggest tin mine, I think, didn't they?
Yes, they had a large 10, or in the, I guess you could say, the known Mediterranean world at that time.
So they were a powerful city.
State, yes.
City.
And they were pretty advanced mathematically, if I recall correctly, because they had water drainage systems and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which you have to be mathematically advanced to understand.
Plus, the wall was real. The big wall they had to get into Troy.
Correct.
So you couldn't just toss those together and it's like hope
Correct.
it fit.
No, you have to have a pretty good understanding of mathematics and certain geography and stuff like that, and terrain and stuff like that, because
Architecture,
physics,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So I'm just saying that
Especially
the basis of the story, you can verify
Yeah.
stuff that's real.
But hey, maybe it wasn't like that. Maybe it was kind of like the Spanish War. It took like 3 hours to take over islands, and it was like 2 hours and 47 minutes of them talking.
Yeah, that's
Who knows?
that's you would think.
That's a joke that I always tell about Puerto Rico. That it's
okay.
like when the Americans came over to take over from Spain.
Mhm.
I imagine that the United States came over. They're like, "Listen, here it is," and they just like whipped it out. And the
Mhm.
Spaniards like, "Bitch, you won't do anything." Like, listen, I don't want to do this. And I bet you for like 2 hours and 47 minutes, they were just loading everything. And then for 13 minutes, they attacked and they're like, all right, we surrender. And it's just like, that's like,
Well, they lasted longer than Guam. You know what they did in Guam?
oh God.
They showed up, and before even they set foot on the land, they fired one cannonball. Then they went ashore, and they're like, "Okay, you're in charge."
We're good.
That was it. One shot, and they're like, all right.
That's wild.
That's yes. I would say that's an accurate portrayal of what happened. I think.
I'm sure there were some nuances in there, but that's the gist of what happened.
Listen, we don't want to do this. Like, I will fucking. It's been so long. War's been around for more than so people know who you are besides being a blue belt at our gym and a homie. Can you tell us like what your background is and your degree is? And
sure.
So that way we can get into that.
Yeah. So let's see, my entire higher education, I don't know, format or portfolio, I guess you could say, would be I was going to be wanted to be a nurse at first, and then I got into the business classes.
Just trying to get laid.
Yeah, exactly.
I see you.
So, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
A classroom full of beautiful women, and they're all like promiscuous,
traumatized, and they're all seeing like fucked up things. They're like, I just want.
No,
that sounds like a nurse class. Yeah.
I mean, at the time I was
truth, homie. Like, first responders are horny. Like, first responder people are very horny.
I know, but at the time I was also engaged, so that's a whole different thing.
Yes.
But then eventually I went into the historical field. I wanted to be a high school history teacher, like my dad, because he taught for 30 years, and everyone who has ever met me or have known me for more than a few years have usually said, man, you're really good at like teaching things, because a lot of people at the gym academy, whatever you want to call it, tell me, Tyron, you're pretty technical, or like you're really good at teaching whatever. I remember Mike Sly, I don't know if you I taught him something. I think it was just a basic submission, maybe an arm triangle, I don't know. And he's like, oh, wow, I never heard it explained this way. You should teach. I'm like, no, not yet. I still have this blue thing. Give me like another decade.
That happens a lot. Like some people are very natural at like explaining it, but then like the application of it is like the next part of it, which that's good because eventually you need both, which obviously you're getting because you get to be around like the kiddos class and stuff like that. And on Thursday nights,
so you teach the kids class.
Excuse me. I help with the kids class. I don't teach the kids.
He
class.
stands there and like when the 3-year-olds are trying, he's like, "Yeah, he throwing money."
Oh, okay. I thought he just knocked them in line. It's like I said, sit.
I mean, sometimes don't get me wrong. I love helping the kids, and I like serving. That's my. If you were to ask anyone, what's Tyron's favorite thing to do, it's to serve people. And I do enjoy the time with the children, but I just want to strangle them half the time. Even the well-behaved ones, I'm like, shut up.
Well, it's just they're ready to like go.
Yeah,
I think it's more like they just need to like.
They're excited. I can see that.
Well, they're learning. Kids, the biggest thing is like they need to learn how to move. That's
adults
too.
Like
adults too. There's a lot of adults that and sometimes I'm like, how the fuck? Oh yeah, I can move my body this way. But like kids specifically, like the biggest thing to teach kids is like how to move. Like, hey, you shouldn't put your hand here. That's how you play a lot of games. With
that's technique though.
No, that's not technique. Learning how to move your body is not technique. That's a completely separate thing.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's the rock you could build technique on, but I would say it's several stages down here.
Yeah.
Okay, it just seems like because being in the right position or recognizing to be in the right position is a technique.
That's more of a skill.
More of a skill.
Yes. Technique is something that you a technique is something that you utilize in order to perform a certain action on another person and or a task. The skill is basically something that you utilize that you can add to a technique, right? So I can have a really good skill of like having spatial awareness. Like when someone's on my back, I can feel where their hand is.
Okay.
It's not a technique. It's just awareness that you develop. Now, if I say like, damn, if I give Tyran my arm, like he has really good technique to manipulate that arm and take it, right?
Okay.
That's the difference in that.
Okay.
That explains that. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure like jiu-jitsu people will message me like, you're retarded.
Yeah.
So sorry. I was just
to
answer your question. So when did I do? I think I started officially becoming part of the history program in 2016.
Okay. MSU?
Yes, Missouri State University. And and I graduated in December of 2020. I took a year off in between those two dates, just to work two jobs, essentially, to provide for myself.
So you have a bachelor's in history and then a master's in. No, just a
I
bachelor's.
just have bachelor's. Yeah.
Damn.
I'd like to eventually get back to education to get a master's, but I don't know. I'm in a point in my life where I'm pretty comfortable, so I do want to continue to learn things. Like my therapist had recently asked me, what's something you want to do in your 30s? I'm like, well, I think I'd like to learn a language at some point. And I was thinking of you.
How old are you?
I'm 30 on the dot.
Oh yeah.
And then, okay, so now.
I am but a young lad.
Yeah, no, I'm.
So
we'll
why did you do just general history instead of focus on one thing, or to get the bachelor's? Is it a general history?
It's a general history.
Go ahead.
To get just a basic bachelor's degree in the science of history, it's what you would call a general history degree. Now, if I were to go into even higher education, master's and obviously a PhD, then I could start specializing. So if I wanted to pick a topic like, I wanted to focus on Native American history, which was one of my interests. I took 2 classes on that subject. Then I'd have to go for like a master's and then obviously higher.
Master's, a lot of times you want to teach.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times higher education is because you want to teach. Like people who get PhDs, because when you have a PhD, people are like, I want to hear this lecture that you have to say, even though it has nothing to do with your degree. Like, so interpreters who do that.
Yeah, I was just wondering because you got a bracelet that looks Egyptian. And a cross. So, is there conflict?
No. So, so this is an arm ring, which is what Vikings use to swear their allegiances.
So it's pagan, not Egyptian.
Funny enough.
No, Viking is pagan. Okay.
Finish.
It is and it isn't at the same time. Originally speaking, yes, Vikings were pagan, but the rise of Christendom in Europe, say post 1000 AD, when everyone started, being converted, I would say Vikings became, or I guess you could call them Scandinavians more than anything else, became Christianized. So, I mean, I wouldn't really say there's conflict there. But more than anything, for me, I just started my history journey, if you will, with an interest in Viking history. That was what sort of got me into it. Yes.
Interesting.
I don't know. I really liked, the culture, and I was really into writing the runes because some of my friends and I in high school kind of figured out how to write and read the Elder and Older Futhark, or at least translate it into English. Yeah, that note book I have at Jiu-Jitsu that I occasionally write notes in? It's just full of Futhark. It's just a bunch of runes and stuff.
Just him cussing.
Yeah.
But that's actual.
Brian doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's actual Viking writing as far as we can tell.
Yes. Granted, I'm using their letters to just translate to English. It's not a direct translation. It's more of a bastardization. But this is something we got into way back in high school, and it always just stuck with me.
Well, same thing with the Egyptians, because they used a lot of symbols, and we're just saying this means this probably. Because you can't know for sure that the bird's eye means.
You can't. So the way that I think you want to answer this. I saw your look. Go ahead, because I know you and I know the answer. Go ahead.
So there are a lot of historical artifacts that you can use as cross translations. I'm trying to think of what it's called, but
Rosetta.
Thank you. Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone has 3 different texts on it. This is big slab. It's in, I want to say, Sumerian, Greek, and Egyptian.
I got you right here.
Thank you, brother.
Right here, brother. Jamie, you didn't say Jamie. Pull it up.
Jamie.
Pull it.
Okay.
You're slacking, Jamie. Just pull the damn thing out.
You see it.
Pull it out. You said Jamie, whip it out. All right, let's see. Rosetta Stone is Grinder inscribing 3 versions of a decree issued in 996 BC during the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egypt. We have
Ptolemaic.
There you go. Egyptians using hieroglyphics. Demotic scripts, and ancient Greek.
Okay. So you can use.
Well, that's Sumerian. Demonic script is Sumerian.
I don't really remember. I don't think so.
Demotic from ancient Greek. Egyptian script derived from Northern Hieratic used in Nile Delta.
Okay, so that'd be ancient. Well, a version of Egyptian, I guess.
Listen, it's in 3 different languages that you can check. So that's how you check other languages, kind of like Spanish. This is called social linguistics. When you want to see what a word is, right? You basically look up the closest definition to what the word is in another language, and then you cross compare it. Normally, it comes from Latin. Then you mix it, and then there's like people that are called transcreators or translinguistics, which basically what they do is they create words that they don't really have a meaning from one place to another. So what they're taking is it's kind of like when you look up the definition of a word. Is it a verb? Is it a noun? Is it this? Does it exist in another language? 99% of the time for the love languages, it's Latin. You just go to the Latin definition and you're like, that means this.
Well, I brought that up because we have emojis now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm just wondering in 100 or 200 years.
Well, I'm fucking fixing it.
Jamie, shut up.
Check.
There
1,
you go.
2.
Okay. So I'm just wondering 100, 200 years from now, are they going to look at a peach and eggplant and know what that means?
I mean,
Christ.
I would say it is likely that you can trace that back. That's what I guess you could say.
Could you imagine that's what the Egyptians were? They were just like, hashtag LOL. With this little eye. They're so technologically advanced, and they're like, put a dick pic in there and tell them that we bury each other.
A lot of ancient art is just a bunch of dicks.
It is.
It is fascinating. It's like we've been obsessed with the penis for forever.
As an interpreter, it's all about fucking.
Oh, well, that's good.
Social linguistics, right? It's all about sex. 99% of the times it's sexual.
You realize that
you've been to an interpreter meeting, you know.
Yeah,
what that's
I
like.
know, but I'm just saying, and when you see that some of the ancient Greek and Roman stuff, they would have. This was literally on an outhouse wall, and it was somebody, I don't know what his name was, but they had drawn him a big dick. And they did that because they thought if you had a big dick, you're stupid.
Yeah.
So they're saying you're stupid.
Well, it was.
But he got a lot of dates, but he was stupid. And they
look at you with your gigantic dick, and you're retarded.
Man.
Look at you, retardero. That's where they got
the
word.
Retardero.
Hanging out there like a certain leg.
And all the women are like, "Oh my god, he's so dumb."
He's so dumb. Yeah. So I'm just saying actually, it'd be a chisel. It'd be a chisel. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine the amount of pigeons? They find pigeon poop all over his house. Like, what the fuck is this? Are you getting like 20 letters?
Why is the slave area full of pigeons? Well, that's where all the dumb ones are at.
Oh no!
I'm just saying, because you had gladiators were slaves.
Yes,
and they did not think highly of them.
But they had hogs.
I didn't mean they were stupid.
I love how this went from history to dicks immediately. Like this is just.
I'm just saying it's all interpretations because you might think the guy was really popular, but he might have been hated, and that's why they drew the big dick on him. He might have been a hate. Nobody liked him.
I have no idea.
Tyron's like, I have no fucking idea. This is not what I came here for. Anywho,
I mean, you might be right. Yeah, I guess it would depend on the person.
It's an insult.
Time and yeah.
Eric, I'm right here. You can just tell me that you hate me. It's okay.
I've seen your wiener.
How's he looking?
What do you mean? No, I haven't.
I don't know how I feel about this. Eric and I toured together. I've done a lot together.
Okay.
Well, we didn't do that. Just to be clear, we didn't do that. Okay.
God help me.
Hey man, whatever you guys do in your private time, your business.
Eric, shut the fuck up. So my
back to the
hold on. So historically, right? What is the? I've always wanted to ask this to historians. Like, what is the importance of culture in history? Which is a question that I had asked you before, and that's important to me because of my work. Because I see how things affect like bet. The fuck is bet? Placing a bet, that means yes. Like so historically speaking, like what role does culture play in history?
I mean, It's a hard question to answer besides like one word in that it's a massive impact.
Because you see it, so like I'll take it right from myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you see it in war. Like in war, one of the things that you see is art becomes very predominant in war zones because it's a way of free expression. It's a way to say that. So my question always is like, I don't know much about American history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question has always been is like, how does culture in that aspect in American history play out, especially like here in Missouri and stuff like that? Because I'm a little ignorant in that area. So I think that would like tune down. It looks like I'm touching her nipple. My bad. I think it would dial down where I'm trying to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Just dial it down.
Oh, my bad.
No.
So, I get to touch this now.
No,
Cool.
no, you can't. No, you can't touch somebody.
Jamie gets upset.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Jamie gets upset.
But yeah, I would say culture. I mean, gosh, you could almost describe human history, or at least each civilization, whether it be something like the Roman Empire or a basic Sumerian tribe from 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
With their culture, what did they fill their time with that wasn't work? What did they practice religiously speaking?
That's another
what
question.
Sports did they play?
Yeah, that's another question I was going to ask you. Is like, it always seems like historically, there's always three things that people always do is music. Music seems to be a big part, especially like if you see Tainos, like indigenous tribes. You see the Spaniards also, right? Like music seems to play a big role. Food, and then some sort of pastime to like just kill time, like something like throwing a ball or something like that. Is that constant around like all cultures, or is that just like specifics? Because to me, it always seems like when I read something is like music is like the big thing. Like music is everywhere, from like Africa to the tribes, all the way up to the Spaniards, using the cuatro and stuff like that. Why is that though?
Gosh, I would argue that music specifically, is the great uniter, if you will, in culturally speaking. Like, let's take today's modern music, or even you have thrash metal,
yeah. Hold on,
from Germany.
Yeah, they can see that.
Okay,
cool.
Can
see that. Yeah, they can fucking see that.
Cool. And especially from someone who loves to collect music, because I like a little bit of everything. Even we were talking about reggae earlier. That's one of the few types of music I never really could get into. I appreciate it, but it's not.
You mean
really
you don't want to hear
not every day.
Just slides in there.
I'm just saying,
more of a
the steel drum is just unique.
Yes,
steel drum is just very unique.
It is.
When you think of a steel drum, you're not thinking of music. You're thinking of like a hippie chick with blonde hair that has dreads.
Oh, that can
so
be
reggae.
Unique,
that can
historically. Well, if you want to take like, there's a hippie chick in the 1960s with a steel drum or whatever, in that time, she was probably looked at as unique. Now it's like, that's just every white girl in her 20s. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Now,
Views expressed on this episode do not represent.
Well, I'm just curious because they would break down history when I was going through school. It's like this is the Stone Age,
right? Of course.
Yeah, the Stone Age. I was.
That's not the Stone Age. That's so different. What are you, 1800s Stone Age?
And then, of course, they go into different areas because they would go in. They start making tools, and then you start making tools out of metal, and then they started actually smelting. And what is? Would you say? What?
Let's go ahead and move that because your elbow keeps getting real close to it.
Smart.
Yeah. What would you consider a transition from one age to another?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Okay.
His nipples got hard and everything.
Well,
I had a point. I had a point to my question.
Like, oh my god.
I guess it boy, early human history is not my forte, but I would say, in terms of like the transition between Stone Age to Iron Age to Bronze Age, it kind of comes down to, if we're talking about studying early human history, we kind of have to look at the breadbasket and Africa specifically.
Okay.
We can look at Asia here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Here in a little bit, but specifically the breadbasket, i.e., Mesopotamia, i.e., Iraq, Syria, Iran, Lebanon, that area. I keep calling it the breadbasket. I should explain the breadbasket of civilization. It's you could argue that is where humankind as a civilized creature started, specifically in between the Tigris and Euphrates River, i.e. Iraq.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, here you go. And of course, the first major civilization being Egypt, if not Sumeria, and the states that followed that.
Okay.
Who were hunter-gatherers and agriculturers, right? They were more agriculturals than anything.
So originally, yes, hunter-gatherers. And then they were like, oh, hey, if we plant things, that's food for a while. So, eventually people became more agricultural based, which would create cities, which would create city-states.
And then societies and little subcultures and whatnot. That's interesting to me how they transition, but everybody always starts as like hunter-gatherers, agriculturals. Because it's like you have to have food, you have to have a place that you can safely grow food for a while and store it.
Well, there was one, I forget what his name was, but he said, what did you find or research that made civilization start? And he said, a splint.
I think I've heard this. I want to say I've heard this at least.
Because if you're a hunter-gatherer, somebody slows you down, that's bad for the whole pack.
Yep.
And he said the idea of somebody giving medical care and obviously taking them with them is the beginnings of civilization, not agriculture.
That's interesting. I have a hard time with that.
I'm just saying it makes...
Hold on. But for you to get to medical care, you first have to get to the 3 primary needs that you need. Like,
if you already know the local berries and wildlife and stuff like that, you would have a rudimentary idea of medicine. You wouldn't have to be agriculture to be medicine.
But you still start with agriculture because you have to be able to know what's around you and experiment with it.
No, you'd have to be a hunter-gatherer.
That too.
Because if you pick the poisonous plant, you die, but everybody else knows that's poison.
Well, unless you get those.
So somebody learns after a while.
Don't last long.
I'm just saying, after a while, you learn like you can't eat this and you can't eat that.
Yo, don't eat that berry over there. Why not? Jimmy ate it the other day. He hasn't woken up.
Jimmy is kind of coming back,
and he's kind of bloated now. I don't know what to do.
He's blue.
He's blue.
So anyway, I was just curious, since you did history, if you think that is a legitimate, because I was thinking taking care of one individual versus the pack showed a sign of a beginning of civilization.
I would say that is a good argument. I wouldn't say it would be mine, but yeah, I could see that. I would argue that the beginning of civilization, technically, and I'm being nitpicky because autism, would be city-states.
How so?
Not just agriculture.
Well, hold on. Let the man answer one.
Well, I can answer. Not just agriculture, because, and again, I'm not a doctor of history. I'm an amateur historian at best.
Express on this episode.
Because you can be a farmer with a family of, say, 20 on a large piece of land.
20 kids? Bro, That's a lot of
Hey,
fucking
man. But yeah, about to say,
That's a lot of-
people didn't have much to do back in the day, so might as well get free laborers
Nieces,
out of your.
yeah.
free labors.
That's what kids are, man.
No, that
There could be a couple of nieces and nephews thrown in there.
Yeah, exactly.
The views expressed in this episode. But that is primarily the reason people used to have kids. Was they?
Yeah. I mean, that's
can't help.
part of the reason I was created was to be.
The reason
We can tell that story in a little while.
Oh, God.
But you can have a farm full of maybe a family or two.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't quite consider that the beginnings of a civilization. A community, sure, but a civilized society that has at least the base form of economics,
Trading.
Thank you. Any sort of religious concentration, anything that would make a civilization, I would argue, would start with the beginning of the city states.
Okay, so a co-op. Let's just say a co-op of farmers because they all work together.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a beginnings of a city-state.
They would have to
Because they would have to cooperate. He would grow this, he would grow that,
Mhm.
and then at the end they would share or trade.
But they would also
they're
need
in-
to have. They would also need to have.
They would have a community area so for grievances and whatnot.
Sure.
But they would also. So then that would mean that they would have to have a social political system in place in order to be able to say, well, what do we do when someone dies?
Yeah.
Well, what do we do on these days? Well, what do we do with the excess stuff that we have? And then they pick someone, and then that person says, yeah, let's do it like this. And then they trade and steal the money from them under the table, and then you have to investigate them, and it takes 10 years to investigate them.
Yeah, and they didn't have comps back then.
Well, we can talk about cops later.
Well, I'm just saying, if they build a community center, they don't normally right next to it build the police station. They don't. No, they don't do that. They just.
That normally comes. Law and order normally comes much later in a society.
Yeah,
much later. Much later. So what was it?
But
that
corruption's right away. You're saying.
Well, yeah, corruption. Have you read the Bible? Anyway,
Yeah.
so what
I
was
have,
your main focus on history? What's your main focus on history nowadays?
Mine changed quite a bit in college because I originally was interested in Native American or Viking history, and then I switched. I reconcentrated to Native American history because I don't know. I just found it absolutely fascinating.
What about it specifically?
Sorry, the Coke is getting to me.
The Coca-Cola.
Yes,
getting to
the
you.
Coca-Cola,
Very
not the
fucking-
cocaine.
No, there's no.
The Coca-Cola is fentanyl free too. So.
No, there's
Time
no.
to start leaning here.
There's no. That's the last thing we need. Anyway, go ahead.
To me, what fascinates me about Native American history is almost none of it is known. Like, they weren't really known for writing things down pre-colonial era.
Everything was passed through stories and word of mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a
And-
big problem with a lot of the indigenous tribes and stuff like that.
Mm.
That everything was passed. I think that. Do you think they did that because they just wanted to preserve their stuff between themselves and stuff? Because that's what I feel like when I see a group of individuals that does that. It's because they want to preserve those secrets amongst themselves, so they don't write it down. Like, is that part of it, or
It might be part of it. It also it is probably in part to the idea of writing things down and recording your history.
yeah?
Probably pretty foreign to them because that wasn't really a thing per se.
Because Indians
And so
really
the-
didn't have a language, they had a language, but they didn't have a written language. That
In
we
the
know
context of Native Americans here in the Northern American continent, yes, excluding the the border of Mexico down, all the civilizations.
Well, they wrote,
yeah, those guys wrote things.
they
down
wrote,
and
but I'm just
kept
saying,
it on.
as far as North America goes,
Mhm.
You get to the
they had their own language, but they didn't develop an actual written language.
True. That being said, they did like draw things or make their own version of art. Like, oh, over here we captured or took down a buffalo or whatever. So they would draw down their activities for the
And
day.
then the guy who
and
took
then
him
they
down
made
had the biggest stick. Oh, there's always one dude drawing the biggest stick. I'm telling you.
No, I believe it. Well, I was just curious because they had I forget what tribe it is in Utah or someplace. Anyway, they built into the cliffs and they're scaffolding so they can live in the cliffs. And they have different pottery and stuff on the wall and stuff like that.
Yep.
But there's nothing in there saying, because it looked abandoned.
Yeah,
Didn't look like people died. They just died out. It looked like they just left.
So my next question would be.
Oh, you just asked a question.
Well, you did. What was the question? You just made a statement, good sir. You were talking about the whole of the wall.
The question was that looked like they just left. So what? Because there would be bones if they died of disease. There'd be bones or something left over,
burial
or burial or something like that. So, what do you think could have happened from? Because it looked pretty fortified. If you're going to conquer somebody in cliffs, you better have a pretty good plan.
You need to understand like a lot of geology too. If you're digging like that, I believe.
Yeah, you couldn't just start digging randomly, and I mean, I guess you could and luck out
for sure. Yeah,
I'm a fucking genius.
This rock's gonna be my home.
What's that smell?
To answer your question, I really don't know, to be honest. I know what you're talking about, but I either studied it and have forgotten about it because it's been 5 years since I've studied history. Like I'll watch like a cool like Kings and Generals, shout out to Kings and Generals, history video on YouTube. But in general, to sit down and actually like read a historical book or look up,
I just found it fascinating because it was from what they found, it was a thriving population. It wasn't a small population.
Oh yeah, no, it's got quite a few buildings built into the rock. Yeah. Now,
so
what happened to them, I don't really remember.
Yeah, and I never read anything about what happened to them or hypothesized, because I was like, if they got sick, they'd still be there.
By the time we get there, like the Europeans, yeah, probably. Yeah, well, Europeans and then Americans. Yeah, I would say probably, but I mean, they might have migrated because the water went bad or wherever they were getting their water source from.
My question would be, and part of that, like, how is it that historians verify, especially like with like when it's word of mouth or transcriptions, right? With a culture that doesn't have a lot of stuff like that, there's no veracity. There's no way to corroborate, like, what did they die from? Did they all die from a disease? And then their bones got scattered and got taken by wolves. Like, how do historians verify that? Would be my main question.
So primarily when it comes to that sort of historical source,
which is like word of mouth, basically.
That's when archaeologists come into play, and that's a whole different school. And I have the utmost respect for archaeologists. They are an interesting bunch of folks.
So whatever the archaeologists find, that's how you guys can verify the.
Those are the folks that go to wherever they think has ancient artifacts, dig up the ground, find old pottery, and then we kind of come into play. Like, oh, okay, this looks like the same pottery shape or form that the tribe that we know more about next door would. So there was obviously some trade involved or something.
How come there's less discoveries nowadays, though? Like, I feel like there's not a lot of discoveries in America. I feel like I threw that question out there a little too.
No, on the one hand, I don't know how to answer that, just because.
The reason I asked is because when I asked Kaylin about entomology, like, she's like, well, we have X amount of scorpions and we know only X amount, which is not even an eighth, right? Which just blows my mind. And I'm like, well, why? And she's like, there's no money for it. How the fuck is there no money for it? Because no one wants to fund it. And like, that's what I feel like a lot of times happens with historians. And it happens with linguistics too. When we're trying to be like, hey, how come we have Spanglish? Right? To give an example.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, you see the change and the shift in culture. And a lot of times these other parts like go away.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like always curious, like, how come we don't see a lot of like stuff being done nowadays here when we have more time?
So funny enough, I have a friend who I went to college with. Her name's Ashley Dents, if I remember correctly. She got married. Shout out to my friend Ashley. Way better historian than I am. So much smarter. She worked at a museum, if I remember correctly, and I think she was gonna get some government funding to go on some sort of historical trip, but funding got cut. If I remember correctly, she lost her job. I don't remember where she's working now, but I think she's doing all right. But yeah, it also comes down to funding because not a lot of people want to throw money at history as much as they used to.
That seems to be like a big problem with a lot of things. It's like people don't want to they're not interested in funding it. Everybody wants to see the Titanic or they want to see this other thing and whatnot instead of turning. Because one of the things that fascinates me about the history of the U.S. is a lot of it was due to if I recall correctly, a lot of the history and the information we have from history was due to the press. Like the growth of the press and the information and the freedom to be able to share and disseminate information. Other parts of it is just from letters. A lot of the information we have is from letters that people wrote to each other.
Oh yeah. There's sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a fantastic documentary series. It's called Ken Burns' Civil War. Ken Burns is super famous historian. A bit dry. I only say that because I fell asleep and I love the American Civil War stuff. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. He's a bit dry, but yeah, a lot of the stuff that he talks about and the other guys who narrate during this docuseries is, I think Chinggis did a bit about this, about some Southerners that would write their wives letters, and he'd go on like a tirade of, well, today we killed some Yankees. I think we're gonna kill some more tomorrow. And then I can't do accents as well as he can. Obviously,
it's pretty good.
Oh, really?
It's
Okay,
fucking solid.
Okay, sweet.
Eric would have normally went here. Eric would have corrected it. That's pretty fucking solid.
Sweet.
That's what I figured. War, at least, war. One of the main ways is the letters.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I never wrote letters.
War documents from, say, whatever War Department was in charge at the time.
Yeah,
it's the Department of War at the time.
Hey, nowadays it's the Department of War.
Now it's Department of War again.
We definitely don't want to be taken down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of their documents of recording, we're sending the 9th Company to such and such. That helps
and then
quite
the
a
casualty report, and then you can corroborate it with the letters of the men.
Mm-hmm. And you can corroborate they still both sides as well sometimes.
Did they still do a census
for America?
No, I mean during the Civil War, because they were doing a census to, because when they were beginning, they had to know how many people were there, so that how many congressmen, how many senators you had. So they started the census, so they knew how many were in the state. So during the Civil War, did they continue the census, or did they kind of?
That is a good question. I would say more than likely, I would say when the South had broken off and became the CSA, or Confederate States of America, they probably did things different if they had time to. I doubt it, because they didn't really have a lot of funding. All the money was in the North, technically speaking.
Yeah.
But all the good fighters were in the South. So, it took them a while, but eventually. Anyway.
Give me 1 sec right here.
Yeah.
So where do we leave off?
All right. Okay. I pooped my pants, so.
Ow.
Is that the second time today? Or...
Ew.
That's what that smell was.
This is our podcast now. Get the
Party foul. So where were we at? You had our next question.
Census is what we were talking about.
Yeah, the census was, because I was just curious, because especially after the war, you had to figure out who was left, North and South. Because you lost whole regiments on both sides.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And I was, when we were offline, I was discussing that the slaves were free. So were they counted as citizens or occupants? Because they weren't citizens before they were slaves, but they automatically become citizens after the war, or are they just free?
So technically speaking, if America is a very interesting, has a very interesting take on what citizenry is, and it didn't really start anywhere except for here, and before us it was the Netherlands, because technically the Netherlands were the first republic, not us. We kind of got that idea. Anyway,
okay.
Shout out to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But
We have nobody listening.
Nobody in the Netherlands I'm aware of.
Talking. I'm gonna let you know.
okay, right.
I'll let you know.
So we have this interesting idea of what a citizen is. Beforehand, you could be someone within a country, but not a citizen, because a citizen has voting rights.
Yeah.
Once you're no longer a slave, you are a citizen. You are a freed person. Now, whether or not they treated you equally or not, that's a whole different issue. That's why we have the 15th Amendment.
Yeah, that's not what I was meaning, because as far as the census goes, how would they count them? Because were they counted as citizens?
I mean, they would have had to have been.
Okay, because I can live in France, but I'm not a citizen there.
Right.
And if census
you can get
comes,
dual citizenship now.
I could, but I'm just using an example.
Yeah,
I could,
right.
And they do a census, and you're like, yeah, he's here, but he's not a citizen. So I didn't know if that was the same way whenever they're putting everything back together.
Yeah, and luckily the South was really good about keeping records. We had to record.
Yeah, they had to record. That's true. I didn't think about
Yeah,
that.
we have 50 followers in the Netherlands, right there.
Shout out to the 50 people in the Netherlands.
Oh, right. Yeah, like and subscribe.
17,000 views from the United States in the past week. It is a past week.
Wow.
South Africa. Way to go, South Africa.
Where do you see South Africa?
What?
47 downloads. Okay, you're done. You're freaking. Yeah, I guess. Shout out to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. That's.
Hey, isn't that where one of you guys is from? Right?
Yeah, one of us is from there. I think they were actually born on the island. I mean,
maybe the brown one. Maybe he's from Puerto Rico.
Maybe the one.
I can say that, right?
You can say that. Somebody gonna say in Puerto Rico. That's right.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, not those.
I didn't think we had people in Netherlands. That's cool.
They have 50 people.
I just pulled that up. That's our weekly.
That's really cool.
That was our weekly. So
way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go, guys.
So we're international.
I guess so.
Yeah, I saw Denmark and Philippines. I was like, oh my
gosh,
gosh,
I
cool.
had like 30 downloads this past week on there. I rarely look at those. I have to look at those more. Statistics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
USA,
I did not pass that class.
Really? Statistics?
No.
We take that.
Because normally we look at the United States to see how many we have per state.
Yeah, California number 1, Texas.
Where's Missouri? Where are we at?
Missouri?
Mhm.
On downloads?
Mm-hmm.
121.
How pathetic.
1,700 come from California, 1,100 from Texas, 800 from New York, Florida, Pennsylvania. That's interesting.
I wonder if it is dependent on population density, like more people, more downloads.
Not necessarily. It's just the amount of people. Because you see, we had 17,000. We don't need to talk about that. We're going to talk about it over, but we had a few numbers there, right? But then you go down and it's like, okay. Missouri's like 100 and something people, which is cool. But that's pretty cool that you see like what we get there. Yeah, the Netherlands. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't talk about Germany's on there. So it's a good thing we didn't.
Top 5 there. Let's not
talk about that thing.
Talk about that thing that happened.
Why not? We could do it.
No.
So what we're saying is that art classes.
Art classes are important.
They are important.
The arts are very important. Listen,
don't have an art critic before you're ready. Don't have an art critic before you're ready.
What we're trying to say, if your kid brings you a piece of art, just say thank you, buddy.
Yeah, it looks great. We're gonna put it up on the fridge.
Yeah,
you need to fix this thing there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Are you stroking the mic or something? What are you doing?
He's pulling it without realizing.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
The cord. I don't know if you're rolling on the cord or what.
No problem.
It's okay. It happens. Yeah, buddy. We're gonna put this on the fridge. Unless there's like a demon. If your kid starts drawing demons and stuff like that, you need to go talk to somebody. Yeah.
You still put them on the fridge because you still put them on the fridge. This is very important. You don't go. We can't put that on the fridge. We're definitely putting this on the fridge. Okay. And then we're gonna go see Dr. Phillip.
since Halloween just happened,
Yeah.
what is there like any correlation with like history and the occult and stuff like that? I don't know if that's your area or if that's even something you can talk.
Oh, he got excited. He got excited. There is a correlation.
Okay, so here's the problem with talking about the occult in a historical way. As someone who loves a good conspiracy theory, the problem with conspiracy theories is it's the same problem with historical fiction. You can have a little bit of truth in there, but also there's a little bit of nonsense. I think Alex Jones talked about this once. Funny enough.
Oh God.
He was like,
the views expressed on this podcast.
He had said something around the lines of, once you get into the conspiracy theory like community, if you will, you find a lot of schizophrenics or something to that effect. And as someone who loves a good conspiracy theory, I can understand that point, because at some point you have to look at it and say, is Hillary Clinton really a reptile? Like, come on, maybe she's just not.
Oh God,
maybe she's just a nice person. Okay. Well, I heard two different stories about Halloween.
Oh my God.
The one story was Jack was a trickster, and somehow he was able to trick the devil. He was talking to him in a bar, and he made him a bet that he couldn't get down from a tree or whatever. Anyway, Jack slipped a cross or a symbol or something, so the devil couldn't get down.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that story.
And he goes like, "Hey, and he goes,
I haven't heard that.
He goes, if you promise not to take me to hell, I'll let you down." That was the deal. So he did, but now he can't go to heaven either.
Wow.
So apparently Jack
Bazinga
calls out a cord and puts candle in it. So, and they called him Jack the Lantern.
Jack off. I know Jack off.
Jack, and it became Jack O'Lantern, but it was Jack
the Lantern.
The Lantern.
That seems like
a
error, if you will. Yeah.
Now that was one of the stories I heard about Halloween and how it became why we cut pumpkins up.
I don't know if that has any historical validity to it, but
it's a cool story.
It's a cool story. Yeah, no, I agree. It is a cool story.
And then they're making the frogs gay with the water.
Goddamn.
That's why they put it in the water. All the stuff that's in the pumpkin, they put it in the water. It makes the frogs gay.
Joe, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest.
No, don't say it.
I'm kind of, yeah.
Oh my God, no, please don't. Richard, I'm going to be honest.
Listen, anyway, that's our word. We can say it.
The other
autistics word.
Yeah. The other one was that they actually did it at the end of harvest.
Yeah, after everything.
You harvest it, and then you did it at the end of harvest, and it was started by the church to not to give thanks per se, but to celebrate the end of the harvest.
Why the fuck do we get candy?
I didn't make up the holiday, just so you know. I didn't make the rules for it. I just
technically it's 3 holidays in one. It's Halloween,
okay,
All Saints Day,
and
Protestant Reformation Day.
I didn't know
Shout
about
out to my boy Martin Luther, who's been dead for like a couple hundred years.
Oh my God.
Not Junior, the actual Martin Luther.
Yeah.
Oh God,
I forgot about that, Martin Luther. Yep.
Halloween is one of those that I just never saw the sense of it. Like,
well, they didn't really do that in Puerto Rico when I was there.
Not much, no, not much. In Puerto Rico, there's a lot of culture, a lot of Catholic sort of like pagan like stuff like that. You know,
there's a lot of mix of that.
A lot of a lot of evangelical too. Nowadays, I don't really know what the majority is because I've been out. But at least growing up, that's what I saw. Almost everybody was.
Because we would do it on. I was stationed down there on Navy base, and we would do it on base. Of course, we'd sacrifice chickens. There's voodoo down there. I don't know if you know that.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. We got 91 people. We have 91 people following us from fucking Puerto Rico. Don't fuck this up. Do not fuck this up.
I'm just saying the base was built on an old haunted swamp, so we had to. I mean, it was like we didn't then,
God help me.
Those are Puerto Rican rules, not mine. Okay.
God help me.
I have a buddy of mine. I don't know if I should say his name out and about.
No,
or
if you
on-
haven't
No,
asked him,
Yeah.
But he does mission trips down to Cuba, and he's told me about his
So
adventures down there. And
he
he's like,
kills
"Yeah,
a lot of chickens.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean that has come up in conversation in that they'll introduce people to the Word of God and Christianity as a whole, and they'll notice, oh, they already have like what you might call like a Catholic candle that they would burn, but they would also pray to whatever voodoo or hoodoo deities that are down.
Santeria is a big thing.
Yeah,
and again, I don't know. I know from like what I read. I think Joey Diaz did an episode on Rogan where he explained this very well, I believe. But Santeria is a big thing there, as everywhere. And you have.
I was gonna say that's big in the Latin culture.
It is. Santeria is very big, but Santeria, all it comes from like, I think, I'm not 100% sure, it's a West African thing where they would like do sacrifices in order to like appease people and whatnot. That's a very common thing, I don't know how common it is because I've never been to Cuba, but I would be interested in talking to that person to hear about Cuba, because I know recently they got internet in Cuba.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just recently.
Yeah,
and Cuba's not happy about it.
Yeah, Cubans are not happy for a little bit about it.
The Cuban government is not
what's
happy.
this Pornhub?
What? Now they're hungry and horny. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Isn't that wild? That like that's the first thing. Like when people like I don't know if you saw an article. There was these North Korean soldiers that defected.
Yes, I know.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
And they were given like phones for the first time, and they were like Pornhub, and they were just like, "What the fuck is this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is this?"
Welcome
like
to the internet.
Yeah,
yep. And then they defected to Russia. That's how bad China is. They defected to Russia.
They still have limited internet over there. So.
Yeah, no porn apparently.
Yeah. Which say what you will.
Which is weird because there's a lot of Asian stuff on there.
Oh my God, dear Lord, help me.
Say what you will about Russia. I kind of admire that because porn is a problem.
What? No.
Porn is a problem, man.
What are you talking about?
It destroys your brain, dude.
Having what? No. You don't look at it like homemade cooking. It's just better when you make it at home.
I don't look at it at all. I haven't that was actually one of the things I wanted to focus on this year as a goal, was to stop doing that. And it's been a few months now. So
not even read like a hentai every now, like a MILF succubus that just takes your soul from. I love how Tyron's like, Richard, no, stop.
No,
just
stop it. Stop it.
No, I don't mind asking about it. I don't have any interest in it anymore.
So. I don't like how do I say this? I find that and this is how outdated we are with porn stars. We were talking about this the other day because we have a friend who does a podcast that he always has a porn star.
Huh.
And it's like I just like I can't. Good for him, that he can get an hour conversation from that. But I just am not interested.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like it's kind of wild how big. Like that's what people do nowadays. They'll just interview porn stars and then they'll just get a following.
He's doing well with it. So,
yeah,
that's
just blows quite a bit of money in the adult industry.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Especially
some people. Not everybody makes. See, that's like everybody going out to California is like, I'm gonna be a movie star, make a lot of money.
Yeah, but
not everybody makes a lot of money. Okay,
happens, right? Here's what happens, because I talked to someone who works in that field. That in the sense of like they do arrest in that field a lot. And what
they're not a scout.
No. They're in law enforcement.
Oh, okay.
And what they were explaining to me is that what happens is a lot of the people who have OnlyFans were people who were doing sex work or prostitution, right? And then they were using that to like basically like funnel some shit. And I was like, what? Like, I don't know the validity of it, but he's like, oh yeah, it's like this has been done a couple times where like people will just funnel money like that. A lot of times what I've heard too, and I heard this from the guy who has the podcast, he was telling us, because I was like, dude, why? He goes, dude, he's like, you'd be amazed how that business works. I was like, why? He goes, what a lot of people do is they'll take like 500 pictures, they'll open up an account for a year, and then they'll pay someone to like text people back. and like you're not really talking to someone, you're talking to some dude. And I was like, oh, that's fucking scandalous. But historically speaking, like the more advanced technologically you are, like the more for some reason people just want to fuck. Which is true. Like if you really look at it, like look at
well, that's just like customer service when you call them up and they have an Indian accent. You're like,
Hello,
what does
my
that
name is
have
Mike from Detroit. Sorry, I'm a
I'm
I'm
Dave from Detroit, your customer service representative. It's like, you're not from Detroit. It's like,
yeah, and then they cuss you out for being a
and a really thick accent. You racist bastard. And you're like,
They've never cussed me out. I thank God for that. But no, it's interesting to me historically how every culture, whenever they start getting advanced, it like goes back to like the sexual identity or whatever the hell it is. It's always like you see it with the Greeks too. Like the Greeks, they were like, let's just have orgies on the street.
Well, I think
you haven't been to France, have you?
It's fun. What do you mean?
Yeah, what do I not know about France, Eric? Hold on, what?
No, I told you the story before, didn't I?
What? No. What? Go ahead.
No, they have in Europe, they have a different view on sex.
Oh, we talked about this, like Japan. I get where you're going. Go ahead.
So you walk down the street, they don't cover up half of the magazine isn't blacked out. But anybody can walk down the street. I mean, it's not a red light district or anything else. It's just the magazines they sell.
It's kind of like Japan with like their, it's like, hey, where can I get big titty, succubuses, whatever. I use that because it's like the funniest example that I can think of.
Yeah, that's why.
And they're like,
you're not thinking about
but
it.
It's open, and you see the public statues. They're not like you see the Statue of Liberty has a robe that comes around. Well, they don't really think the robe's necessary when they have the different statues.
Christ, Eric, God help me.
No, they have fountains with figures in the fountains, and that's just they're not shy of the human body.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So, so I'm just saying that Europe's just open with sexuality.
Now, yes, because there are periods of time where that switches.
I'd like to hear about this.
Well, so when I'm trying to think of time periods here.
We got Jamie. Jamie,
pull this up.
Because the Victorian age was where they didn't, and that was in America. The Victorian age where they were very conservative.
Right. So I would say from the rise of Byzantium or the Byzantine Empire till a little bit after the Protestant Reformation, it was very conservative. People did not. Oh, you got it? Okay. Victorian age sexual.
Very conservative, just like you were saying.
Yep.
You were literally like, it felt like I thought you were reading it. That's why I was like,
oh, no.
No.
Because what you were saying was, Mark, was like very pure, chastity, very like, hey, don't be showing your tits out and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It always goes in waves.
Yes. But before that, obviously, part of why Rome fell is, I mean, to be quite honest, they became
orgies.
Freaking degenerates.
Street orgies.
Specifically speaking, Western Rome.
Well, they split.
Yes.
I think is the biggest problem is that they had Western Rome.
Yep. Some of them were like, we definitely want street orgies.
And so Eastern Rome lost a lot of people to I don't know if they traveled over or anything, but splitting the empire ended the empire.
Yes and no. It ended what we would consider the classical idea of Rome. But Rome was still very much a thing. You just had the East and the West, i.e., I guess you could say the Orthodox Romans and the Catholic Romans, if you will.
And that's when you see like a shift, people moving too, which plays a huge part. In
there's quite a bit of traveling, especially if everyone from the Western side of Rome wanted to make pilgrimages to the Holy Land. If you wanted to travel safe, you'd kind of have to go through Eastern Rome or the Mediterranean, but that's kind of a crapshoot because I mean back then sailing through there was a little dangerous.
It looks, if you look at the map, the Mediterranean Sea looks small compared to Atlantic, but it is not.
Yep.
I've been there. It is not small. I mean,
Lake of the Ozarks is not small.
No,
but
maps aren't
the Mediterranean.
I think, if I recall correctly, maps that we have aren't like really done well to scale.
So that's interesting because I think it was the third day of one of my African American history classes in college. The professor, I forget her name, but I loved her to death. I wish I could remember her name. She pointed out that there were different issues with how we gauge maps or how we used to. It's a little more accurate now, but even now it's hard to put a 2D image of a globe unless you're a flat earther, in which case F you. But
yeah. Well, having said that, how do you explain world maps before? Because there were some world maps before they actually explored everything that showed Antarctica and or North and South Pole.
It had freaking krakens
and stuff in there.
Sure.
But they hadn't been there, but they knew there was land here and here. Mostly
it had to do with trading, in that when you, let's say you're a Italian merchant and you travel to the North African coast and you meet a North African merchant who has sailed around the western coast of Africa, he or she, more than likely he, could tell you more about the geography and how it's mapped out down there as opposed to someone who's never traveled down there. I think that has to do with a lot of it. Word of mouth and stories have a lot to do with that. Obviously, Europeans, for the most part, supposedly, didn't know that there was a whole other, couple of continents on the other side of the world before 1492. Yeah. That being said, before Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, obviously, we have historical records, archaeological records, findings of Vikings showing up in the Canadian area. I forget where.
I've seen that where they had actually went from Greenland, Iceland, Canada.
Supposedly they had even made contact with natives, but that's hard to prove. That's still being discussed within the historical community. Now, what's interesting is a few years ago, they believe they've found a Roman ship off the coast of South Carolina. If you want to pull that up real quick to double check,
Jamie.
Yeah,
Jamie, pull it. Say that again.
Roman ship found off the coast of South Carolina.
Now, could have been from tornadoes, hurricanes, tides, or are they saying it?
Holy shit! There it is.
Wow, 152 years ago.
Hold on, we got a few.
Boom.
Oh wow, we have a few. Hold on. Ship taken by slaves 152 years ago, found in South Carolina coast. U.S. Marine archaeologists believe they located a Civil War era ship. No.
The Civil. I was going to say.
I was wondering, 152.
I think the Roman Empire was a little bit farther back.
There it is. That's the one.
Yeah. Okay, this one. Now, is that?
Hold
on. Okay.
2000 old Roman ship. 20.
Black Sea.
No, that's not right. Not the Black Sea is way the other way.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's still a pretty good distance. Especially given the ships and the technology they had back then.
Okay. Has not yielded conclusive evidence. Okay.
So they don't know, but they think that the ship was from 1748.
1748. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was a good reference.
Hey, what's up? Hello. While
Okay.
taking measurement of the abandoned ward site, the students found timber from what I presumably believe were La Fortuna, a Spanish ship destroyed nearly 300 years ago.
Okay.
August 12, 2025.
Okay, so not Roman, but this was
Damn, but still.
before the Civil War or before the Revolutionary War.
Mhm.
17. What did it say?
1748.
17. Yeah.
Remains during a summer maritime studies program. Can you imagine as a student being like, why the fuck does this wood look so old? Like, how would you know? It's like, oh, fuck, that's 3,000 years old. 300 years old.
It's 300 years old. And the other guy'd be like, I know my wood.
What happens? I've always wanted to ask this. What happens whenever a discovery like that is found? Kind of like the mammoth bones in Alaska. Like what?
I'm sure it was a
happens-
mammoth.
Yeah,
It wasn't bones. It was actually a mammoth.
A mammoth.
Oh, yeah, it
yeah.
was,
He ate a piece of it and
encased.
everything. He found a lot more. I don't know if you follow it.
I had heard that they had found a mammoth completely encased in
Yeah.
ice, like the full body, which
a
is
lot
insane.
more, a lot more. What happens? Like, what process do people have to follow to add that into like history? Because it always feels like it takes forever. People are like, oh, well, this could have been there from something else. We don't need to study it. Like that's what I always feel like. Like, what process does it go when they discover something and they're like, we need to add this here or change this here?
Well, definitely a lot of peer reviewing, looking at primary sources. Wish I had my couple of professors here with me because they could answer that a lot better than I could. But
so it's basically a lot of
because the archaeologist finds it
Yes.
first, and then they have to write a paper on it, and then that has to go to their
upper
whoever-
echelon.
upper echelon.
Mhm.
They're like,
And then from there, they would have to talk to the history guide and say, hey, this is what we found. We verified it by different sources. And they give it to them?
Yeah, so there's a lot of cooperation between historians, archaeologists, sociologists, and you could argue psychologists as well, but that's for different schools, I guess you could say. To answer your question, yeah, I would say as soon as something is archaeologically found or is being discovered, they usually bring in historians or historical experts to verify what this is, what it could be related to. There was gosh, what was that? I think it was called the Curse of Oak Island or something like that. It was
Oh yeah,
something
I've
on
heard
the
about
History Channel.
Yeah.
And they theorized that they found like a missing.
this right here.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's on who? Okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
the History Channel. They theorized that they found like some missing gold or whatever, and I mean, so far, I don't think they've found anything. Truth be told, I don't think they will.
What's the Curse of Oak Island? What's Oak Island? What
So,
is that?
if I remember correctly, Oak Island is in the northeastern part of the United States, if not British Columbia. I can't remember.
And that's where they have like a bunch of stuff over there.
Supposedly, there's buried treasure up there, and that's where there's this famous story of Europeans settling in this specific area and trying to set up a colony. Ship leaves, comes back, no one's there. Not a trace of humans. There's still the colony. There's still buildings and such.
Just human beings aren't there.
No one's there.
That normally
And-
happens because they get attacked, but if they get attacked, they would have been burned down.
That and there'd probably be some
There'd
remnants
probably be
of
some
bodies.
remnants of bodies.
No one. There's
Nothing. There was
There
nothing.
was nothing there. It's one of the greatest. Well, one of the more modern greatest mysteries.
It's like
there's-
Roanoke, I think, isn't it?
Roanoke, yes, very good.
I mean, the only explanation that I can have is they all left or they all disappeared, but there would still be some remnants of a body.
Well, they were on an island.
Yeah, there would still be some sort of remnants. Like, how did they disappear like that? Yeah, especially on an island.
No, what's really interesting is I don't know, a little ways away from their colony, there's some engravings in a tree, or at least they found engravings in a tree. It had, I forget what it said, but basically it leaves this great mystery of where did these people go? So that's part of it.
Basically,
like
go like no trespassing.
Kind of like the other stone that they found a couple of years ago that also has the Rosetta, and they're now just yeah. It always feels like there's something missing.
Well, there always is.
and there's just like
Yeah.
Well, they
with
still
the
have
stone.
scrolls. They haven't.
Yeah, the
went
Dead Sea
through
Scrolls. They haven't even deciphered that yet, and like that's.
And I heard there's a lot of them. of reason they haven't got through them all. I don't know how. It was like a library they found.
You understand how hard it is to open that without it like crumbling?
Yeah.
Because if you open that in bro, I would not want to be the guy that's like, all right,
Over
what did you do? Nothing. It was like that when I found it.
You just kill yourself.
Yeah, you're just like,
yes, my career's over.
Hey, this is how you cure cancer. Oops.
Yeah, like that's what I always say. Like, I wonder what's in those scrolls that they're like so like we just need a kind of like the thing in Georgia where it says like it has like these rules. Have you seen this? There's like this thing in Georgia.
Jamie, pull that up, will you? That thing in
Hold
Georgia.
on.
That thing in Georgia. Look that up.
Yep, the Georgia Guidestones.
Oh yes, how to rebuild a society if things go to.
It was like placed there like that, and they're in like 3 different languages, I think.
Like the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, and it's like I wonder why, because that's normally an indication of like, hey, if things go real shitty, the reason we left these really fucking heavy rocks is because they're really hard to move.
Yeah,
it's something like completely.
Same thing with the Rosetta Stone. They're like, hey.
Stone.
I don't know if you heard about this guy Chinggis, but we need to write this down.
I mean, that's it's Chinggis Khan, actually.
Oh,
I don't know why we spell it the way we do.
Really?
But it's Chinggis Khan. Yeah,
really?
Chinggis. If you take,
I bet he got teased a lot in high school.
Combine it.
Oh, this would explain why he was like that.
Yeah, he
got a name like that.
Everybody bullied him in school.
Chinggis. Much school going on. Yeah. I think it was a whole lot more. Let's ride off to the nearest town and mess them up.
Yeah.
Ty, this has been awesome, dude. We got to have you back sometime.
I'd love to.
We definitely got.
Yeah, we tried to
talk music.
Yes.
Talk music
I could definitely fill your time with music. I can tell you that much.
Especially German music.
Fire.
Metal. Yeah, sure. I would not. I wouldn't know anything about like German synth music from like the.
Well, you had the
90s,
German band on your shirt and everything. So
before we keep going, to everybody listening, like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Do it.
Everything and buy some merch.